So one time I was working a brunch shift and we were getting ready for our second seating, where the seating times were 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Around 1 o'clock, we had an incomplete party of 9 come in without a reservation. They were asking to be sat. And I told them I really wouldn't know anything until about 1:45. Unless all of those reservations for 1:30 showed up, I wouldn't know anything until about 2:15. And the reason was because each reservation had a 15-minute grace period that we had to extend. So the lady that asked for a table, she gets a little annoyed and she's like, yeah, that's not going to work for us because we have plans today. Like, we're celebrating somebody's birthday. We have somewhere we have to be after this. That later seating time is not going to work for us. So you have to figure something out. So I'm like, well, at this point in time, like I said, like, we're completely booked for a party of your size. You know, there's nothing much that I can do. So she points to a busser and she points to a couple empty tables. She said, I see all of that empty over there. Why can't you just seat us right now like I'm asking you to, since we're here? I'm like, well, as I explained to you, my next reservation times are at 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Those guests are already on the way. Your entire party is not even here yet. So even if I were to seat you, you would have maybe an hour to enjoy the brunch. And it wouldn't be worth it to you because it's $25.95 a person. You wouldn't get your money's worth. You wouldn't be able to fully sit down and enjoy the brunch. I just am unable to do it. Not only that, that means that my reservations who are guaranteed, they would have to wait because we would have to then reset their tables and then they would be pushed back. So unfortunately, I cannot accommodate until the waiting times that I gave you, which were 1:45 or 2:15. So she goes, you sound ridiculous. Are there any other places around here that we could probably go to? Because clearly you guys don't want our money. So I named 2 other spots and let them know I'm not quite sure what it is that they offer, but there are other breakfast spots in the area. And she goes, well, I don't want to go there. We came here for a reason, so I don't know why you're telling me that. So I say, well, I didn't volunteer that information. You literally just asked me were there any other breakfast spots around here. So she rolls her eyes and says, well, I guess we'll have to figure something out. And she like storms off and goes to talk to the rest of the party. So we were using Open Table at the time and we were able to see that a new reservation popped up for 1:30 at 2 o'clock. So a couple seconds later, she comes sauntering over to the host stand with this stupid smirk on her face. So she says, yeah, I was definitely able to just make a reservation for 1:30, the Williams party. And then she motions to her friends to come on, right? So I said, yeah, we did see it pop up. So if you want to go ahead and grab the birthday person and one other person of her choice, we'll be more than happy to accommodate their reservation for 1:30. She says, wait, what? I said, yes, ma'am. Williams, 1:30, party of 2. She says, no, I booked it for 9. I says, no, ma'am, my system is only showing that you booked it for 2. She says, no, I just made the reservation. I booked it for 9. I said, no, ma'am, you only booked it for 2. If you want to take a second to check the email that Open Table sent to you, you will see that you are confirmed for 2 people at 1:30. So she takes a second, she reads it, and she goes, well, I mean, legally, it doesn't matter how many people I booked it for. If I show up with more people, then you have to accommodate us. So I said, ma'am, even if there was any type of legal aspect involved with a Sunday brunch reservation, I would only be legally required to accommodate you for the amount of people that you asked for, that you made the reservation for, which would be a party of 2. And she says, well, we don't get sat until after 2 o'clock. Is the brunch going to be cheaper? I mean, because we won't have enough time. So I say, no, ma'am. It'll still be $25.95 a person, not including taxes, gratuity, or beverages. Would you like to wait? So they waited, and we were able to accommodate them because a couple of parties from the last seating didn't show. But she just made it her business to complain the entire time that she was there. She also made sure that I knew that she would never be coming back and that she does not support Black-owned businesses because every time she goes somewhere, it's always something. Ma'am, I'm pretty sure that you're always the something.